tell me between the ProAdapt Breeze and the LuxAdapt Breeze, just, you don't need to tell me what the differences are, but is there a different cooling system between the two? Yes. There is. Okay, good, good. So let's do this. Let's talk about the cover, first of all. We like to think that the ProAdapt Breeze has really kind of a three-stage cooling, all right? And when we talk about the LuxAdapt Breeze, we really want to talk about that as having more of a four-stage, or you could add a fifth stage of cooling if you wanted to break it down a little bit. Does anyone want to tell me what this top cover is, which is the first stage of cooling, called? What's the technical term? Pardon me? Yeah. So am I on the Lux product here? Yep. Yeah, I'm on the Lux product. Yeah. So we have two different covers. Is it safe to say that, Steve? Yeah. So for the first cover on the ProAdapt is just going to be what we're going to call the dual smart climate cover, right? Yeah. And when we step up to the LuxAdapt product, it's going to be called a dual smart climate max cover. And the difference is we add twice as much cooling yarn in this cover versus that cover over there. All right. So do you think this will perform any different in terms of the length of time that it will level off and we call it more melt in terms of temperature and go away? It's still about that 3 to 4 to 5 minutes, all right, which is the first initial stage of cooling that the customer is looking for when they lay back on a product, and it's right directly in the surface of the bed, right? So it's a dual smart climate cover, and why is it called dual? Anyone know? So we have there's two parts to it, right? The smart climate cover, and then, of course, what is this called here? This little athletic inspired inner panel, yeah? So we call that, so when we talk about a dual cover, we want to talk about the top cover as providing that initial cooling that you feel when you lay down for the first 5 minutes. And then the second piece to this is actually, it acts almost, and we like to talk about this as acting like athletic wear, sports wear that you would put on, that's very breathable and helps draw heat and humidity away from your body, right? So it's a dual smart climate cover, all right? That's the first stage. Think of it in terms, this cooling effect, in terms of 3 different ways. Think of it in terms of cool when you lay down, first of all. Think of it in terms of cool while you fall asleep. And then lastly, think of it as cool while you sleep all night long. So the first part of cooling on these products will be the cover and the performance panel underneath. And that's going to be, bless you, that's going to provide you that 5 minutes, roughly 5 minutes of that cool sleep technology. Does that make sense? Okay? And I'm pointing to this one because this one is the Lux product. So this one actually has the max cover, which is twice as much yarn. What did we use for an analogy with these covers when we talk to the consumer in terms of that touch? And what is it? It's a high-density molecular yarn that does what? It has an initial cool to the touch feel, right? And it's just like a granite countertop that you could set your hands on. It doesn't matter if the room is 100 degrees in there or if the room is 60 degrees, that granite countertop is going to feel cool to the touch, and the same thing is going to hold true for the new Breeze product as well. That makes sense? Okay, good. So far, so good. So we have a smart climate, a dual smart climate cover on the ProAdapt, and we have a dual smart climate max cover on the LuxAdapt Breeze. So far, so good. Okay. Can anyone tell me what the layers, what the very next layer in these Breeze products is called? CM Plus. Who said that? Lucas. You want to come up here for a $5 coffee from Starbucks?
Oh, it's kind of like their old climate material, except for it's better. It's more comfortable. That's why they put it on the top layer. They used to bury it pretty deep down their older Breeze mattresses, so you don't get as much of a benefit from it before. But with the new layer, that's one of the reasons you're sleeping a lot cooler, is because it's, you know, drawing that heat down away from you and creating that microclimate.
CM Plus, Climate Material Plus, and he's exactly correct. We used climate material in the old Breeze line, but remember, we used it as a support layer, which was the second layer of temper material in all of the Breeze products. In today's world, we actually re-engineered it, didn't we? Remember in the video they talked about the 2 beakers and they said it's our most technologically advanced foam. We improved the feel of it, and by building a brand new CM Temper Climate Material Plus material, it has, anyone know what the cellular structure and the walls look like? You remember from the video? Big, wide open cells. Big, thick, wide open cell walls, and it acts like a superhighway, and we really kind of call it the engine to the new Breeze beds because it allows, again, it's a superhighway. It's going to allow heat to dissipate, run it, right through in terms of from a breathable standpoint, and draw that heat and humidity away from the surface of the bed. So it's called CM Plus, and you did a fantastic job. And it's right directly, it's the very first layer of temper material that we use in both the Lux Breeze as well as the Pro Breeze products. We use CM Plus in the very first layer. And it's a comfort layer now versus a support layer in this product. Great. So it's re-engineered to provide a better feel. It has a much larger cell wall structure, which allows heat and humidity to pass through it much better. And you're going to, it's hard to show this stuff without the demo units, and you guys are so far ahead. You have these products on the floor already. Our demo units aren't even ready yet, but I'm being told that we're going to have a real neat tray with a fan unit underneath it that actually allows air to blow through this temper material so you can demonstrate this to a customer. So that's what I'm being told anyways. We'll see if it happens. But it's going to be the third stage of cooling, and I'll give you a hint for another Starbucks gift card. It's actually embedded right directly on the top of that CM Plus material.
Phase change.
Good. Who said that, Cher? Hey, you want to come up here?
No, if I don't have.
Come on up here. Come on up here. Because, yeah. So, it's the very first layer, right?
Yeah.
That's embedded directly into that CM Plus material. So is it safe to say, Cher, that it's the very first thing that you're laying on when you lay on this right directly underneath this performance panel?
Right.
Yeah.
It is right on top of the CM Plus. So yes, it is your first layer that you're laying on.
Good. And this new CM Plus material, climate material, has these big, wide open cell walls, so it absorbs that applicant of that Pure Cool. It's called Pure Cool phase change material. Pure Cool Plus, it absorbs it deeply down into the cells of this CM Plus material, and it literally is a layer that's, if you will, that's painted right directly on top of that CM Plus material. And that Pure Cool phase change material is going to do what? It's going to pull heat away from your body and absorb it away from your body. It's going to take the heat away from the surface of the mattress.
Down into the Pro Adapt foam, which has holes through, so air goes through, and then the heat goes through and dispenses out.
Good. Let's call it APR material. Yeah, you're exactly correct. So that's actually the next stage of cooling. You're already one step, so I should have had another card for you.
Well,
But,
I'll just take the $5.
You'll take the $5, yeah. So on the Lux product, we actually have another stage of cooling that we talk about, which is truly that APR material. Does anyone remember what APR stands for? Advanced pressure relief. And what's different about this APR and Breeze than the Pro Adapt product that doesn't have Breeze technology? Ventilated. You guys are awesome. I need to take you back with me to Bartle. That's awesome. And Mauro, why would you want to ventilate that?
To help airflow go so that all that heat will actually go through the mattress instead of absorb into it.
It's all about getting that mattress to breathe. The old Breeze line, if you guys remember, what we used for cooling in the old Breeze line was layer upon layer upon layer of phase change material. We only use one layer of phase change, and it's deeply embedded in that CM, that Climate Material Plus, and it allows wonderful airflow. That's where we're coming up, and that's where this thermal laboratory, all the work that we're doing in our thermal laboratory tells us that the more phase change that you put in a mattress. Does a wonderful job of cooling. The problem is it does a terrible job of allowing the mattress to breathe. It's almost like taking a saran wrap and wrapping it over the top of your mattress. It doesn't allow that old air, that old warm air, to exchange outside of that mattress. Does that make sense? So with this new design, it's literally given us a super highway. And I like to use that, and I like to use analogies. When we were talking about the cover, I like it to explain it's as dense as a granite countertop is in terms of stone, because that's the kind of things that they can understand. I love to talk about a super highway. Think of it as a cellular structure that's like a super highway that dissipates heat and recycles that old warm air and heat that's inside that mattress constantly. And that's why we can talk about these new products as being truly 3 degrees cooler in your microclimate over an 8-hour period of time compared to the ProAdapt non-breeze product. Mattress industry. And I'm here to tell you that all cooling is not treated equal. Just like the cooling that we have on top of, as good as it is for that initial feel on the Sealy Hybrid product, that's an initial 5-minute cooling process, isn't it? The Beautyrest Black, whether it's the Stearns & Foster uses Tencel, which is a natural fiber that you use in your mattress protectors, that naturally breathes and adds a better cooling and less humidity. All premium mattresses have a cooling story. The difference is, and this is the most critical part of my presentation this morning, the difference is the Breeze product is built and designed to give you an all-night cooling system. And I'll spare you my Lionel Richie singing today. For those that liked Lionel Richie back in the 80s and you had your honey and that slow dancing. But truly an all-night cooling system. And we want you pitching it that way because that's exactly what this product is. And I can tell you we've had 3 reorders on this stuff already from almost every store. So you guys have sold them. So it's a great story. It's even a better product. And the reason why I think it's important to actually have them, and we're going to talk about how to show it next, but it's critical